shouting, calling for help. No response this time after all. Imagine the little boy's horror. But Garvit was brave. He did not panic. He recalled how his parents would also often ask him to keep calm during stressful situations. The 8-year-old decided to distract himself, and he did that in the most beautiful way. Perhaps something that is idiosyncratic to Indian kids. Alone in the standard lift, Garvit opened his backpack that he was carrying to the safety car. He took out his textbook and notebook and started doing his homework. I repeat, his homework. Minutes turned into an hour. Garvit continued doing his homework. Around 6 o'clock, the boy's tuition teacher rang up his phone. Why hasn't Garvit reached the task yet? The teacher asked his mother. It had been an hour since the boy left home, he said. Garvit's mother panicked. She called her husband. He was not at home at that time. The parents began searching for their son. They checked with the building security guard, asked him whether he had seen Garvit leave the apartment. The guard had not. What happened? And soon they realized that the little boy was stuck in the house. An SOS message was sent to the technical team, but it would take another hour for the technicians to arrive and rescue the boy. Garvit came out of the lift at 7 a.m., 2 hours after the last strike. And all this while, Garvit kept himself busy by doing his homework. What a story, right? Garvit is more brave than most of us adults, and he probably handled that difficult situation a lot better than most of us as teenagers. The story is not just about his ability to handle that kind of stress. It's about how Garvit handled that stress as well. What his coping mechanism was. Homework, a horror that has followed all of us through our childhood. Like Garvit, most of our childhood was spent at school, followed by tuition classes, then homework, God forbid, tuition homework, and then back to school the next week. Those watching us from India would especially be able to relate to this. Like Garvit, most of us had tuitions on a Sunday as well, all the more on Sundays because school was closed, so a lot more time at the school. During summer vacations, there would be around 30 days worth of homework, and then there would be school projects. While in middle school, there would be presentations that involved putting together assignments in clear files, while in high school, these projects and presentations determined the final school leading percentile. In short, homework was always there, following students just about everywhere to their family home during summer breaks as well, or to hill stations, or wherever the family was spending vacation.
Honorable Commandant joins us from state and he is currently on the front line fighting vaccine crews.
Basically, it's that world should be ruled by democracy.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Gravitas with me, Molly Company. Here's a look at what's lined up for you on the show. It is a story that is as murky as it could get. Several twists and turns. 48 hours ago, when a plane crashed in Russia, it soon became a global headline. Turned out the chief of the Wagner mercenary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, was on the list of passengers. But was he really on board? Was he dead? Was he alive? There was no clear, definitive answer. And as the speculation continued, 24 hours ago, the Russian President Vladimir Putin came out and broke his silence and expressed his condolences. The Wagner chief is dead, but the story does not end there. In fact, it is just the beginning of a whole new story. The death of the Wagner chief has given birth to a series of questions, particularly over the timing. Also, what happens now? What does the death of the Wagner chief mean for the Russian president? And also for the Russia-Ukraine war? We focus on this and more in just a few minutes from now. Also on the show for you tonight, has the Pakistan army taken over in a silent coup? We'll get you the very latest from on the ground. Why is George Soros targeting India? What's the latest? Why is he once again making headlines? We get you the complete story. The impact of climate change being witnessed around the world has now ended up killing thousands of penguins. We'll tell you more. Why does Prince Albert of Monaco need an appointment to see his wife? We tell you the complete story. Let me start off by telling you a story. On the evening of August 23rd, residents of a small Russian village called Kuzentino were rattled by the sound of an explosion in the sky. They then watched a jet fall into the Russian countryside and burst into flames. No one on that plane survived the crash. As it turns out, the Wagner chief, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the man who posed the biggest challenge to the Russian President Vladimir Putin's authority in recent times, was among the 10 people who died in that crash. Vladimir Putin has expressed his condolences. He has called Prigozhin a man of complicated faith. Let me just repeat that to you. A man of complicated faith. Prigozhin came for the king in the Kremlin and he was killed. The king's grip on power is now stronger than ever. Even if it took 2 months. Only a few doubt that Putin was behind what the US believes was an assassination attempt. But let's just be clear. If it is ever proven that the plane crash was an act of deliberate, cold-blooded revenge, it will go down as the ultimate special military operation. Ever since he led a mutinous march on Moscow in late June, the Wagner boss was seen as what many called a dead man walking. In late June, Prigozhin said his mercenaries were only marching to Moscow to oust the Russian defense minister and the chief of staff of the armed forces, General Valery Gerasimov. Prigozhin previously had accused both of mismanaging the Russia-Ukraine war, and that too in profane terms. But an armed rebellion in Russia was a clear challenge to the Russian president, and he looked surprisingly vulnerable when he failed to crush that mutiny. After all, he had denounced the group's leaders as traitors. As is the case in today's Russia, we knew very little about what really goes on in Putin's court. What we do know is that Putin does not and would not forgive. Perhaps Yevgeny Prigozhin knew his days were numbered. According to Russian media reports, in fact, he had taken his private jets to confuse people, checking in for a flight but never actually getting on board, or flying with two at once so that no one could tell which one he was actually on. But that trick seems to have failed him this time. On the ill-fated day, two of his jets were airborne, but while the second landed unharmed near Moscow, the one carrying him crashed. So how did he manage to defy Putin and still remain alive for so long? Remember that rebellion took place in the month of June. He appeared down but not out. From being filmed in Belarus to being photographed on the sidelines of the Russia-Africa summit, and then this week he was seen armed and ready in camouflage somewhere in Africa again. For 2 months, everything was upside down in Russia. For 2 months, Vladimir Putin looked rather weak. People assumed, in fact, that Prigozhin could manage a second act. He was seen